Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to All Things to Listening High. First and foremost, my name is Rochelle, and welcome here when you didn't have to be, right? I feel like you're here because you need some sort of confirmation from God, and He has been working on me and working through me to create this video. Now, to give you a little backstory, I've tried to create this video multiple times, but being on camera is something I'm deathly afraid of. Most people are trying to be insta famous, and I'm trying to insta fade the black, right? While leading y'all all the way to the Lord with a little bit of motivation, comedy, and just me being me and all things natural. That's all I can do is be me. First and foremost, I want to be honest with you. When I say I've been trying to create this video, like I said, was afraid that this was not going to measure up, and that my background was not going to be enough because I'm currently in my garage. I've tried to do this in my car, and I have tried to do this in my living room and bedroom and other places within my home, but somebody always interrupts the video, right? So I'm working today, and I'm currently on my break and doing this video. I feel like now is either now or never, and so I had to get out of my own way to get the message out that keeps showing up on my spirit, keeps coming up in my feed. And so now I know I need to give my testimony to show you that God is real. You out there, someone out there that is part of the collective needs this confirmation, right? And so I feel like within this message, you will get many messages, right? And many truths about me that you don't know, because none of you know me at this point, right? And so I want to give you a little insight about me, all while telling you my story and giving you the confirmations that you need to know that God is alive, well, and listening. So, like I said, I was scared to do this video because, of course, y'all on the internet can be savages, right? And let's just keep that real. I feel like everybody wants to look like the Kardashians, and when you don't, or this isn't slim enough, or the skin ain't white enough, people are not tuning in, and that when they are, everybody has a negative comment to say. So that has been my biggest fear. But over time, what I'm realizing is, as I have went on this journey within the last year with just self-discovery and weight loss, I have lost a total of 55 pounds. I went from 210 to I'm currently 152 or something like that. So within this last year, I have learned a lot of things about me. I have gotten closer with the Lord, and here we are. So hey, and welcome. Okay, so I have to take you back to bring you forward, right? So the story starts for me, or my testimony starts for me in 2015. My husband and I have been acting as actors and actresses for a group of students who were in chiropractor school getting ready to graduate to get their chiropractic degree. And over a couple of weeks, we have been going to the location. You're locked in with the students and a proctor, and you go through your ailments, they ask your questions, and you go on. So it's the final day. When you're locked in, there's no cell phones. You can only bring reading material and yourself, right? So it's the final day, and my husband says, well, we've been doing this, and I'm kind of tired. I think before we go home, we should just stop and get lunch. So I'm like, okay. So in that moment, I'm like, I don't really know if I want Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm not too wild about them to begin with, right? Right? So let me see. So anyway, we're getting ready to leave, and then something in my spirit says, nope, go home. Just go home. Go home and do lunch with the kids. So I told my husband in that moment, let's just save some money and let's go home. So we go home, and by the grace of God, I'm glad that we did. We get there, and I'm checking on the kids, and I go to check on one of my sons, and he is not responding, and his breathing is super shallow, and his pulse is light. I was a CNA in a former life, and so I knew how to do the pulse check, and his pulse was super shallow. So I instantly get the cell phone, and I'm calling 911, and they're telling me that I need to do the chest compressions to the theme song of Staying Alive. I know that song through and through, but in that moment, the fact that it was my son, I couldn't. I froze, and I could not. And the lady is saying, ma'am, I need you to do this. And I'm telling her I cannot. And I'm screaming for my mate to get over there to help me. So I'm telling him what needs to be done, and he's doing it. All the while, I'm waiting on the ambulance to come, and I swear it felt like 1,000 years. But where I lived, the fire department was literally probably 5 minutes from my house, if that. So I know it only took them a few minutes, but in those moments, it felt like years and hours. And if you've ever been in such a situation, then you know what I'm speaking of, right? And I'm sorry if I'm going to make you cry because I can feel it coming on. But again, you're going to probably cry within this segment and also laugh within this segment, right? This is just me and how I roll on a day-to-day as a supervisor for my pharmaceutical company with my associates that report up to me. This is how I'm with my kids and my peers. And so, again, welcome. Okay, so my husband is doing the chest compressions, and I have to tell you this. At the time, he was not my husband. He was my boyfriend, but I was engaged. And so they get there and they put my son on the stretcher, and I jump in the ambulance, and my husband stays back with the kids in that moment. And when I'm in the ambulance, all I have is me and God, right? All I have is me and God. The first responder is driving, not talking to me, doing his job. So in that moment, I close my eyes and I say, listen, God, I don't ask you for much. I pay it forward. I'm not out here trying to do wrong by nobody. I live my life accordingly by you. And in this moment, the only thing that I'm asking you is that you save my son's life. And I don't know the ramifications of cardiac arrest, right? But if there is any, I pray that he has none. And I'm sorry for being selfish and asking you to save his life in this moment. But damn it, I do right by you. And that's all I'm asking from you. So we get to the hospital, and they're checking him out, and, things are tense in there. And the first responders are looking like, what the hell is going on? But at the same time, it's just weird. I've never been in such a situation. I'm going to tell you why I say weird. So one of the first responders was a woman, and she comes up to me and she says, I don't know what it is about you. I don't know what it is about your son. This is different. We all keep saying in a little huddle over to the side, even with the police, this is different. This feels different. And she leans in and she says, I never asked anybody this, but can I hug you? Sure, I needed that hug in that moment. Hell yeah, I took that hug. I hugged her tight as hell and held on for probably way longer than I needed to. And I'm sorry, but y'all gonna get these tears because, again, the Lord is telling me to be authentic with y'all, and I'm gonna be authentic with y'all. So sorry for making y'all cry. Baby, I held on tight than a motherfucker. And then another one came up and hugged me, and then they huddled around. And the people talk about they don't like the police, but let me tell you this, the police came and showed up for me, poured into me. One of them said, I have a son that's your son's age, and can I pray with you? And said, I never do this with anybody, but prayed with me and held my hands with me and was not my color, but prayed with me and poured into me in that moment, right? Which was what I needed. So I'm getting what I needed from them. And here comes the doctor, and the doctor says, ma'am, did anybody talk to you about what happened in the ambulance? And I'm like, no, this is a whirlwind of a situation here, and nobody has told me anything. And he says, well, I just want to let you know that your son is probably going to be in a vegetative state for the rest of his life, brain dead, because he died twice in the ambulance. Anybody tell you that? And I'm like floored. Nobody told me that my baby had died twice in the ambulance, and on the second time that he died, he was dead for about a minute with no oxygen to his brain or heart. So in my mind, I'm like, thank you for telling me this. I start getting angry, and then in my mind, I'm like, hold on a minute. In that ambulance, I said some things to the good Lord above, and then I had to think about it. Girl, you prayed and he died twice and he's still here. Nah, what you get ready to question the good Lord for? Question him for what? Baby, he saved your baby twice, right? And so I started telling the doctor like this. I started getting bold and firm. I pray to the good Lord above. My baby was saved twice, actually 3 times, because I could have been at Buffalo Wild Wings and came home to him dead in his bedroom, right? No, baby, he saved him 3 times. So I serve a mighty God. So thank you for telling me what you think you learned at medical school. Not what you think you learned, but what you learned at medical school. Let me not downgrade or discredit you, right? And thank you. But my baby is not going to be in a vegetative state. And we going to have a testimony to tell. And so he was a minor, so we had to go to the children's hospital. So we get there and he's in a coma. Over the days, I got me and God. Me and God. You know, my husband was at home. My fiance at the time was at home taking care of the kids. He is now my husband, so I'm going to keep referencing him as my husband. So he's at home with the kids. And I'm not leaving my son's side. You know, people are coming and people are going, but I ain't leaving. I finally had to be forced to go home to shower, change clothes, check on my other kids, and come back. So one day my sister comes, and I worked with this lady at a previous job of mine who was also a pastor, and I have been going to her church periodically. Not on a regular, but periodically. But I always kept my faith up with the Lord. I feel like I don't need a church house to have a conversation with God, right? I could be in my car, in the supermarket, in the shower. I mean, outside, just anywhere, on a walk. I'm going to talk to God at all costs, right? Because, look, if I ain't got nobody else, I know I got the man upstairs. So I keep him close. So anyway, she comes and she has on this denim jacket, and on the back is some wings and some prayer sayings on the front and the angel in the center. And she's a woman again. I'm going to say that again. And she's a black woman. My son is in a coma. And me and my sister in there chopping it up. And the lady comes and she prays with me and she prays with my sister. And then she starts talking to my son. And she just keep talking to him and telling him now ain't his time. And then she asks me and my sister to leave out. You know, so we step out. She sits in there and she holding his hand and she crying with him. And I'm seeing through the window. You know, and I know he's not awake. She crying with him. She praying with him. She reading scriptures with him. She in there about a good hour, you know. And so finally we go back in. And she prays with us again. And she leaves and she says, listen, it ain't his time. God told me it ain't his time. And he know it ain't his time, right? So I'm like, okay, baby, I know it ain't his time. But thank you. She leaves. About 2 days later, my sister is back there with me. She comes back and we're sitting there and we're watching TV or something. And no, we're not even paying no attention. We are, but we're not. Because I keep looking over and he's still in the coma, right? And all of a sudden he sits up and he says, hey, I saw God. And that instantly got our attention because I'm like, first and foremost, he's awake and he's talking and he ain't in no damn vegetative state. So I serve a mighty God, right? And so then he's like, I saw God. Me and my sister are like, when, where, how, why? Tell us. And he says, God came to me when I was sleeping. And God was this black woman that had on this denim jacket with angel wings and the prayers on the front and the side. I mean, to a T, detailing her. And he had never met her and the jacket. And he was not awake when she came in that room, right? I'm getting chills. My sister's looking at me and I'm looking at my sister and I'm thinking, God, you listened. You listened when I spoke in the ambulance. Not only did you listen, but you came back and you answered everything on that list, right? So then I'm beeping for the doctor like, hey, you need to get in here. And the doctor comes in there and says, and the doctor is looking like he's awake. And I'm like, not only is he awake, but he's awake and talking. And at the end of when he told us everything that the lady told him, he said, you know, God came and told me it ain't my time and it ain't my time and it ain't my time. And clearly it ain't my time. And now I'm hungry. Can I eat? And we're like, but first of all, let's get the doctor in here. Then let's go ahead and get you that meal that you well deserve, baby, because trust me. So doctor comes in and the doctor's like amazed. And the doctor kept saying, ma'am, I don't know how this is happening, but he shouldn't be here. Not alive and awake, not able to talk to you. He should still be in that coma or he should be in some sort of a vegetative state, right? Which is what I was told initially at the other hospital. So Again, I had to thank the doctor, but in that moment, I said, baby, let me tell you this. I serve a mighty God. I prayed over this, and my mom used to always tell us this as kids. If you're going to pray about it, why worry? And if you're going to worry about it, why pray? So I prayed in the ambulance, and then I'm going to be honest, I kept on praying in that room, but I wasn't really worried, right? I prayed, but I wasn't really worried. And I don't know if I can convey the difference, but in that moment, I relied on my faith, and I knew that I served a mighty God, and I knew that he had already done 3 miraculous things from saving him, which I felt like was 3 times, right? So I was praying, and I wasn't ceasing with the prayers, but I wasn't worried. And so today my baby is about to be 27 years old, graduated from college, going on with his life and living his best life outside, right? And you would never know that he died in the back of an ambulance and did not have no oxygen up here or here for damn near a minute, and was in the honors program at his college, graduated, with an engineering degree, and is going on with his life. So if that ain't confirmation enough for you, I don't know what is. But then we're going to keep on talking, because clearly the Lord wants me to keep on giving you some word today. Okay, so here we are. And that happens, and then, as soon as that happened, I still was relying on faith, and I wasn't wavering, right? But in those moments, it's scary. And then it's like, who do I talk to about this without feeling like it's becoming my story? And who do I talk to about this without burdening them? And so, I had to try to pick up the pieces as somebody's mom, sister, wife, fiance, co-worker. It was a lot of things that I had to navigate, right? Outside of what I was dealing with personally and emotionally and mentally. So I'm moving on with life, but I'm really not moving on with life, if that makes sense. I'm on the outside, I'm moving on. And if you know me, then you know me to know that I'm a push forward at all costs, right? A stagnancy does not work for me. Complacency does not work for me. And I always have to be moving the needle or doing something or driving the course, right? That's just me, and that's how I thrive, and that's how I'm going to get by in my life. So on the outside, to anybody looking in, I was thriving. I was moving forward. I'm excelling at my job. I'm making more money. I'm doing all the things that I'm thinking is appropriate. On the inside, I am not thriving. I am not okay. So then the spirit comes back, and, I'm still praying through it. And the Lord starts speaking to me and says, look, people are lonely outside. Human connection is going by the wayside due to the internet. And so you need to find your place in that. So then I start thinking, okay, what is my place in this? So then I'm like, I'm going to be a life coach, right? I'm going to be a goddamn life coach. Baby, I thought about it, and I started following people, and then the people that I was following, I was like, they not aligning with the spirit. They not aligning with my spirit. They charging people $25, $35, $45, $55, $75,000 for programs, when outside stuff is not okay. Things are falling apart. I can't be a part of that, right? And then I got to thinking too, how I'm going to lead you and tell you what to do with your life for $75,000, $85,000. And I ain't okay within. I am not okay within. So I was like, Lord, I feel like in some aspect, you're leading me to motivate, or you're leading me to do something. And I'm going to keep on doing what I do. And hopefully within that, I'm going to find my purpose, right? So COVID comes. And of course, we all get hyper independent. Everybody's at home. If you were smart, ain't nobody outside, which was me. I was deathly afraid of catching COVID, so I wasn't going anywhere. And I liked being remote. I had worked remote way before it was a popular thing. I did some remote jobs in the latter 90s and, early 2000s and things of such nature, right? So for me, it wasn't anything new. It was new in the aspect that I hadn't done it in a long time. And it was new in the aspect of I was a full-time associate, not a contract worker like I had been with some of the other jobs, and just some things was different. I'm older, and my goals were different, and my drive was a little different when COVID came. So during that time, I had applied to be a supervisor, and I didn't get the position but I got a different position, and I felt like the Lord was setting me up. And now that I look back, I feel like the Lord was setting me up. But in those moments, I was highly upset that I didn't get that damn job. But it ended up coming back to me full circle, and I'm going to tell you how. So I got the other position, and I'm moving along and doing the job. And there was a supervisor on my team that was moving to another team as a manager. I work on behalf of a pharmaceutical company, right? And so we work under an umbrella of a company that has multiple pharmaceutical companies underneath them. So current supervisor is leaving our current drug to go be a manager on a new drug that was getting ready to launch. And she messaged me and said, hey, I feel like you're ready to be a supervisor and you should apply for the job to work underneath me. So I applied, and lo and behold, I got the job. So when I became a supervisor, initially, I only had like 3 or 4 people reporting up to me. And remember I told you, initially I'm like, I'm going to be a life coach, only to realize, no, you ain't going to be no damn life coach, girl, and charging people $75,000, $85,000 and they can't even buy groceries or pay for medicine when that don't even align with your spirit, right? So just shuck that. So in this position, what I started realizing is the Lord is placing you where you need to be to motivate the people that you need to motivate. And this is how you need to start out doing it, not with life coaching, right? Somebody reporting to you and knowing that their livelihood is in your hands is a lot different than you life coaching somebody, right? You motivating somebody to want to come to a job every day and show up to do the job is a lot different than you life coaching somebody. And I had to realize this, but within that, you can coach them about life. And in those moments, I didn't realize that, right? It took me to this year to really realize that. And so I've been a supervisor since 2021. So people are reporting up to me. I'm pouring into them because I'm realizing I'm going to manage the way that I wish somebody had managed me. I know that life is lifing outside at an alarming ass rate. So I don't ever want to add stress to somebody's day, right? I also know that we have agreements to meet and I have a job to do. But within doing that job, I can also manage you in a way to where you will want to show up every day and go the extra mile. And if I'm managing you appropriately, you're going to do 110%, even though only 100% is required of you, right? When you're not in the rooms that I'm in, if you're doing your job, I'm speaking up for you, baby. I'm trying to get you more money. I'm going to bat for you at all costs because that's what my job is. And that's what they pay me to do or should pay me to do as an effective supervisor. Now, I'm also going to try to make sure that I'm doing what the customer is requiring of us, right? All within the scope of just making sure that I'm leading by example and I'm jumping in and helping my people when the help is needed. And so that's how I manage. So people are reporting up to me. And then I started realizing everybody has a different personality. So then you got to be adaptable, right? And you got to adapt quickly and you got to know how to maneuver and you got to know how to read the room with the people that report to you, as well as the people that are not reporting up to you, right? And so I learned a lot over these years. So when I first became a supervisor, I was on my current team for a couple of months and we didn't get the FDA approval. So it comes about where the supervisor who got my original position that I applied for wanted to step down. So I got wind of it. So I tell them, look, we have to go to another team while we're waiting on the approval. So can I please go back to my old drug as the supervisor? And I got over there and baby, I was not ready for what I got. I'm just going to put it at that. It was more than the 3 or 4 people that reported up to me. So that was a huge change first and foremost. Then came the attitudes, the personalities, the I ain't gonna work with, the I ain't gonna do this, the I ain't, the I ain't, the I ain't. And I had to really lean into God in those moments, right? And I had to get granular with my prayers. And then as I was praying, I heard the Spirit say, baby, you asked to be a coach and I gave you what you asked for. You didn't get it in the way in which you wanted it, and that's probably what's bothering you, but I gave you what you asked me for. You asked me to put you in a position to motivate, to lead, and to coach people. And in turn, what I did is I didn't give you $75,000 a person. I didn't give you $25,000 a person, right? Because that didn't align with your spirit. And the money will come. Trust me, the money will come. So don't worry about the money aspect, baby. Just do what I'm telling you to do. So I leaned into those associates and I poured in and I helped and I did what I could. And then what I started realizing is, girl, they appreciate you. Girl, you doing something. You motivating. Like, they started calling me outside of work. Like, we ain't never had a supervisor like you. We're thankful for you. They started telling me their personal problems. I was like, I don't even know if this is supposed to be done as a supervisor, but I can't hang up somebody who's on the phone crying to me about a personal problem that they're dealing with, right? That's just me. I'm going to take the phone calls. I'm going to lean in. I'm going to pour in. If you need help, I'm going to find the resources and I'm going to help you out. That's how I move in my life and always have and will continue to do so. So, my old drug that I had initially became the supervisor on got the go ahead that they were going to get the FDA approval, so I knew I was going back to my old drug. So when I came back to the team I'm currently on, I had to hire up people and train people up, and here I am today leaning in, motivating them, and it's coming full circle. They're praying for me. They email me telling me that they're praying for me. They're speaking to upper management about me, saying that they feel like I deserve more money. These are the associates that report up to me. They're calling me on the weekends. I'm just thankful for them more than they probably are for me and don't even realize, because, baby, somebody pouring into you when you're not asking them to, off of how you maneuver, is a whole vibe. Having somebody pray for you when you didn't ask them to because of how you live your life is a whole vibe, and ain't nothing but God. And if you ain't got nobody outside praying for you, let me pray for you, because I pray for everybody in my prayers at night. I pray for the whole world. So I've been praying for you. So, sometime, and this was another tidbit that I hope you caught on to. You ask the Lord for something and you get it and don't even realize that it's what you asked for, but he's giving it to you in the way in which it comes with a little bit of turmoil, right? Let's just be real. Sometimes you ask for something, you like, God, why is this coming with contention? I ain't asked for this contention. I asked for this, but baby, I didn't ask for all of this contention. And then he's like, you needed the contention. You needed the contention to show you how to work through what you prayed for. And baby, let me tell you, when the prayers work and you know God is on your side, that's all you need. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you got something out of this video, and I'll be back with more. So thank you, and hey. So, comes with contention, right? And so, you're like, God, I didn't ask for the contention. And God is like, you didn't ask me, but you needed it. The contention always comes with the message, whether we know it or not, right? Something underlying is always there. Always there. And so if you don't get anything else from what I'm talking to you about today, I pray that you get some sort of message from this. I pray that you realize that God is listening even when you think he's not. Think about this. Think about how many times you've been in some situation, right? Whether it be you with your homegirls or you with your homeboys. I don't even know if people still say that. I'm probably dating myself. But you outside with your partners or your girlfriends or whatever the case may be. Or it don't even be with your friends. You in a situation where a bill needs to be paid. The car has broke down. You don't know how you're going to get the money for the next meal, or it's just something that needs to be done and you don't see the way through or the way out. And you pray about it, and you pray about it, and you pray about it. And in that last hour, the money shows up unexpectedly, right? Or the car is fixed by somebody, or the money comes through for the car to be fixed, or a situation that could have landed you in jail or cost you your life somehow was circumvented, right? And in those moments, if you have not, you should always sit back and think, that wasn't nothing but God. That wasn't nothing but God. I can tell you some situations in my life where I can truly sit back and say, If it wasn't for God, I don't know where I would be today. If it wasn't for God, I don't know how I would have gotten through a lot of situations in my life. If it wasn't for you, God, I just don't know where I would be, right? And so, yeah, initially when I started this video, I was scared shitless. And sorry for all the cussing, and I don't even know if this is allowed on YouTube, and if it's not, I guess I'll find out. And but I feel like the more that I talk with you guys, the Spirit is directing the conversation here, right? And so, again, we pray for things and we get what we prayed for, but it doesn't come in the package in which we want it. But you have to be thankful. You got what you prayed for, right? And sometimes I feel like our prayers are too broad and we need to get granular. So for me, I asked the Lord when He initially started presenting the people to me in the fashion in which I motivate them, which are the people that report up to me. And I have helped many people that report to me move into different positions. I have spoken up for people at my job, for people that don't report to me, and helped them move up to different positions because I seen something in them that maybe somebody else in the company didn't see because they don't deal with them or talk to them on a regular basis, right? And so now I'm here and I'm asking the Lord for more. And I feel like it's coming on my spirit a little bit more to where I need to talk about Him in a different fashion, right? Which is the purpose of the YouTube channel. And I need to do it in a way to where it will lead you to Him, but you won't feel like you're being led to Him, if that makes sense. I'm not here to Bible thump with you because I'll be honest, I'm still learning the Bible myself, right? And so I can only tell you from the aspect of what I know it from or which I'm learning it from. And so I'm not going to get on here and fake with you. I'm not going to get on here and tell you something that I heard from somebody that heard it from somebody that heard it from somebody. That's some regurgitated, non-factual truths, because at this point in my life, I just don't have no time for that. A lot of people are sick. A lot of people are lonely. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of things. Life is life. And, I went to click on a video the other day and a young lady commented and said, at this moment when this video popped up, I was getting ready to take my life. Your video saved my life. In that moment, I had to thank God because I thought, Lord, you really never know what somebody is going through. And sometimes you never know what that person needs in that moment, right? And how the message is delivered, or how the Spirit, or how God sends to you what you need in those moments. So when I'm going through something and I feel like the Spirit sends me whatever I need, whether it be a message on YouTube, or if I log on Instagram and I see something from, I think the site is called at Trust God Bro. And if that's you, I definitely love the site. And I'm a huge fan and a big follower. And so if I'm seeing something that's motivational in that moment, and I know I prayed and it's resonating with my spirit deeply, and it's resonating with what I felt like I need, I know that ain't nothing but God, and a lot of people outside are weird as hell these days. If you think they not, I'm sorry, but they are. I'm weird too, but I'm weird in a different way, and I like my weirdness. When I say weird, I mean people outside are doing more harm than good on some fronts, right? And especially in the United States, we're at the point in our lives where we're going through this huge political shift, and in less than a couple of weeks, we will all be voting for the next president of our country. And I don't want to make this political because that's what this is not about. I don't even want to go there with anybody, but what I'm saying is it's a lot happening outside. Division is being caused at an alarming rate. Then you get on social media and you have people that are faking for streams, the things that they own, the homes that they live in, the cars that they drive. And then you have other people in the background feeling like they're missing out, right? For the longest time, I was like, what the hell is FOMO? FOMO. And then I found out that's the fear of missing out. And it can seep in even when you feel like it's not. And you can have a lot and still feel like you don't have enough, right? Because of what you see the other people portraying on social media. And so then you have to realize, baby, I'm right where I need to be in this moment in my life. I'm right where God wants me to be. Even if I feel like I need to be over here and I should be 10 steps ahead and I feel like I'm 10 steps behind, clearly God has a plan for me in my life, right? And so I had to realize that in these 47 years of my life, girl, you where God needs you to be. You are right where God needs you to be. Life coaching somebody for a gazillion dollars, baby, the money will come. And if you're doing it for the money, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons, right? And if you're trying to really motivate somebody, then motivate them and leave the money aspect out. Motivate them because that's what you are here to do. Motivate them because that's what's on your spirit. Be kind, lean in, pour in, because that's just you as an individual. And don't seek nothing in return. And what I started realizing then is when you ain't seek nothing in return, you get everything in return, right? And it don't. And if you think it's monetary, then you're thinking wrong, because some things money can't provide, baby. Joy, love, people praying for you, people pouring into you, people worrying about you. Let me tell you how much I know this to be true. I don't know if I'm the only person that ever thought about this, but I'm going to be honest with you. I have thought, when my time comes and I expire from this earth, right? Who will show up for me at my funeral? Will they show up and cry? Will it be packed in there? Will I have made an impact on somebody's life? And I feel like I'm getting ready to cry again. And I know it looked like I stopped this video earlier, and I did, but I'm using some video recorder that allowed me to keep recording. So I stopped and I'm back. So I came back a while back and I'm here and we're just going to keep going. So thank y'all for you still tuning in. Thank y'all for rocking with me, because baby, I'm winging this and I don't know how good I'm doing. So if I'm doing any good, a comment below will make me feel better. If I'm doing horrible, I'm going to take the feedback and I'm going to read it and I'm going to utilize it and I'm going to move on. And I'm thankful for any comment that's put below, whether it's good or bad, right? And so here we go. I get a little scatterbrained sometime. And so I'm trying to think back about what I was just actually talking to you about. So what was I mentioning? I don't know. So now I am going to have to stop the video to think about what I was talking about, and I'll be back. Okay, scatterbrained and all, I'm back, and I remember what I was talking about. So what I was saying was, have you ever thought about, like, and maybe it's just me, when you expire, who will show up for you or your family in those moments, right? Have you done all the things appropriately? Have you said all the right things? Have you dotted all your I's and crossed your T's? I know I haven't. And Lord, let me find some wood. Please, I pray that I get to live to be as old as Yoshi. That's my grandmother. And Yoshi is well into her latter years of her 90s. And I'm only 47. So, Lord, thank you for allowing me to see these days and any days going forward. I am forever thankful. So, back to what I was saying. So, what I was saying was, in the moments of when our time comes to meet our Maker, right? I'm always wondering if I have done things correctly in my life and if anybody will show up for me. And so then I realized He shows you on this earth when you're doing things correctly, right? And I'm going to tell you how. So here I am going on about my life, doing the things that I feel like I need to be doing appropriately, and still in and somewhat still out with the Lord, right? But feel like I'm doing things appropriately. I'm motivating, I'm leaning in, praying over people, I'm volunteering. I'm doing all of the things that I feel like need to be done. And I'm praying. Now my knees are not always hitting the pavement, but I'm praying. And I'm praying for others. And I'm praying for people that don't even know me. And this is just me. And I'm always speaking up for the people that I feel like are the underdog, or whose names are typically not mentioned in rooms, or that I feel like are just being overlooked, but they're the ones holding the team together, or who really need the recognition in those moments, right? But are not getting it because other people feel like, why bring them up when they don't need to be mentioned? Nah, I'm gonna bring you up at all costs when I feel like you deserve more or you need more. So that's just me. So August comes around of this year, and of course, retrograde is coming about. And I'm thinking, okay, initially I'm thinking, I got this. And then, the first week goes by, and I'm like, damn, girl, you ain't got this. And as the month went on, I started realizing retrograde done came in and beat you down. And as the month went on and September rolls around and I feel like I'm coming out of whatever I'm dealing with for the month of August, I realized I don't know if that was all retrograde. Baby, you needed to be shaken up by the Lord, right? It's a lot going on and you needed to be silenced to hear. And I'm going to say that again. Sometimes you got to get quiet to hear God, and I had to get quiet. And when I say get quiet, I got quiet. And when I got quiet is when I started finding my tribe and the people that I needed in those moments. So I'm getting quiet and the people around me are getting louder, and I'm still getting quiet and they getting loud and showing me that they care. That meant a lot to me in those moments. So I'm typically on social media, probably like 99% of y'all watching this video, right? And I'm posting regularly, and then I stopped posting. I didn't see the value in it. It wasn't serving me. It wasn't doing nothing for me. The content wasn't resonating with me that I was seeing on my feed, and the people that I was talking to, the conversations just was no longer serving me. I was planning a trip with some friends the whole month, and was due to go with two of my friends to Texas and stay with one of the girlfriends over the Labor Day weekend and just hang out. And that whole month, I'm planning the trip, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to go. I cried more in the month of August than I've cried in a long time, long time, probably since the incident that I mentioned about my son. And I cried then, but when he got released, I didn't really find myself crying, right? Because I'm strong and I pick up and I'm going to go on and he's okay and we're moving forward. So, August, I cried more than I have in my whole entire life. And I'm not too sure why I'm crying. I could be washing the dishes and the sadness would just come. I'm not sleeping at night, and I was thinking, for anybody who has been on drugs or is dealing with a drug habit and they stay up at night, I don't even see how they doing that, because for me, it became unnerving to the point where I had to sit down with my manager and say, look, I'm not sleeping at night and I ain't sleeping in the daytime and I don't know why. And this is unnerving. And I know what sleep deprivation can do to you, right? Because I just know. And so I'm like, no, I got to get some sleep. So she was letting me leave every day at 12 o'clock. I'm clocking out to go to sleep. And I'm sleeping for a couple hours, but it's not real restful sleep, right? And I'm up at night and I'm up at night. And then I start questioning God. I don't even know why I thought that was going to be okay. He came through with the quickness. So it's like on a Sunday morning. And I'm just like, this the first Sunday of that, the first Sunday in the week in August, right? The first week goes through, then it's that Sunday morning. And I'm like, God, look, I don't even know what the heck you think you're about to do. I don't even know what this is about, but you need to get it together, right? Basically, you need to get it together, not in so many words, but in so many words. So by that night, I ain't sleeping. I log on YouTube and this tarot reader pops up, right? And I don't even do tarot like that. And out the gate, she starts saying, if this ain't led by God. If it ain't led by God, then it ain't to be factual or true. I tune in. Then she starts saying some things to me. And baby, the way that girl spoke to me, I said, I don't even believe in tarot, but this can't be nothing but God. And I mean, how I knew it was him was because some of the things that morning that I thought I was going to be fresh about and, test him about, she came back in the tarot card that I picked and was so granular with it that I had to write it down. I'm like, dang, this ain't nothing but God. Like, this ain't nothing but God, right? So then I'm up and she got my attention. And so then a couple of other tarot things come through. I pick on the cards and I mean, they really resonating. And they kept saying, if it ain't led by God or the Spirit, this ain't to be factual or true. Take what resonates with you and go on. Baby, they was resonating. Then that month kept going. Things kept happening. Signs and the Lord kept revealing to me. Then he kept putting things on my spirit. So much so that I'm like, one day I was working and I'm in tears and I had to make a video so that my friend could really see. I had to step away from a meeting I was in, with my client and on Teams, and I couldn't take it and I had to step away and I had to make this video and I sent it to my friend, and it's crazy because she messages me back and she said, girl, this is weird because right before you sent the video, my mom had called me about this same topic, and this individual had been on my mind from this morning. And so this is weird and this can't be nothing but God, right? And so over that month, I felt like I heard the Lord speak to me more in that 30-day time frame that I was going through this, more than I have in any other time in my life. And I mean, the things that was being shown to me, the things that was being revealed to me was just on another level. And one of the things that kept coming up was, you need to do the YouTube channel, right? You need to get in the front of people and motivate in the fashion and keep your day job. Because, baby, I like my people. And so I'm going to rock with them till the rockin' ain't rocking unless the Lord has something else in store for me, right? And it kept coming about that I needed to do this channel and I needed to do this channel. And my old scary self was deathly afraid to do this channel for many reasons. And, again, I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to go back to where I started with the scatterbrainness. When you expire, have you done everything that the Lord has asked you to do? Will people show up for you? When I got quiet in the month of August, the way that the people went to bat for me and showed up for me caught me off guard, astonished me, let me know that I mattered. Sometimes you get busy with the rhythm of life and you like, damn, do I really matter to my homegirl over there? Is she rocking with me, really rocking with me? Or is she just rocking with me to say that she rocking with me, right? Because it's a difference. And if you know, you know. And it's a couple ladies I do lunch with from my old job. And one of those ladies had texted me the day I went quiet. And I seen the text and I didn't respond back. And about a week went by and she texted me again and I seen the text and the text was different. And she said, hey, you all right over there? And I need to know that you're okay because out of everybody in my life, you're the only person that's keep it real with me. You're the only person that lean in and pour into me. And I need to know that you're okay. And so I didn't text her back. So what she did is we also do lunch with another lady who was our associate, and we're all friends. I'm going to take them out the associate category because we're friends. And the other lady and her husband both on social media, on Facebook Messenger, messaged me and said, hey, are you okay? And I messaged back and I said, I'm okay. And they said, nah, you're not okay because you're quiet on social media. You're not responding back to the text messages. How are you mentally? Y'all, somebody asking about your mental health when you go quiet when they ain't got to says a lot, says a lot. I was honest with them. I said, I don't know what the hell is going on with me. I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. In this moment, I'm not okay, but I will be okay. Thank you for checking on me. They offered to bring me food. They offered to bring me groceries. They offered to show up. I had to ask them not to. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready, right? I didn't need to see anybody. I was seeing people, don't get me wrong. I have to go into my office. I didn't have to, but I do because that's just me. I like to break up the monotony sometime of being at home. And if I have new associates and they going to be in the office, and I feel like it's only fair that I'm in there too, right? That's how I maneuver. So I was going in there for that reason. And then, again, I'm quiet. And the people just start coming out the woodworks for me that I never would have assumed that I had mattered to, that thought about me. The text messages, the phone calls, the DMs said so much in those moments to me that let me know, baby, you don't gotta expire to know if you making a difference outside. Baby, you making a difference inside, so keep doing what you doing. So keep doing what y'all are doing. Keep leaning in, keep pouring in, keep being forever grateful, keep calling on God. Again, I told you, I ain't got to be in the church house to call on him. If I'm in the bathroom, in the shower, if I'm cooking dinner, if I'm in the supermarket, if I'm having brunch with my girlfriend and I feel it in my spirit to call on him, baby, I'm going to call on him. I can only speak for me, but I keep my pink Bible. Yes, my Bible is pink and I keep it in my work bag, right? So when I go to work, he driving in the car with me. I ain't got no time to play with my life, right? And I ain't playing with nobody else's. And I dang sure don't want nobody playing with mine. And if you ever watch a video if I ever put out any other videos outside of this one, and you ever feel like I'm playing with you, please call me out on me, right? And if I feel like I'm wrong, I'm all about being accountable at this big age of mine for anything that I do in my life or anyone else's life. So, again, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, I can edit this to where the segments match up together. And if they don't, again, I'm new to this, not true to this. So don't hold me to this first video ever on YouTube. And again, thank you for tuning in and being here. The Lord is leading me in a direction, and I'm going to figure out the direction. Y'all going to help me figure out the direction. I'm sorry, something just popped up on my screen that said somebody died from One Direction. And I'm trying to think, I know that group, and I think it's a young man, and that's sad. And people are sick and people are dying at an alarming rate. And I feel like that's something else that y'all needed to hear in this moment, because I know a lot of people that are sick. And I was actually at work yesterday and got a message about somebody that I knew that had just passed away the night prior that was on hospice, that's roughly my age or maybe a little bit younger, and I'm 47. So, love up on the people that are loving up on y'all. Lean into the people that are leaning into y'all. Do right, stay prayed up. It's too much going on outside to be dealing with the BS and to be causing stress in somebody else's life, right? And if you can't do nothing else for somebody, you can pray. It ain't always got to be monetary, right? He listens. I'm telling y'all, I done told y'all time and time again, that man is listening to the prayers. Y'all ain't praying. Are y'all praying inappropriately? Are y'all praying and backsliding? I'm going to be honest. I'm going to listen to my ratchet hip hop music. I'm going to listen to Glorilla. I love Glow. I'm rooting for her at all costs. I like Meg Thee Stallion. I'm going to listen to a Cardi B song here and there, or a Little Durk, or whoever the case may be that comes on in that moment on my Apple Music player. But I'm also going to listen to the Tamala Mans, and I'm going to listen to the Kirk Franklins, and I'm going to pray, and I'm going to pray, and I'm going to pray. And I'm going to volunteer, and I'm going to do right, and I'm going to take this walk with God as only I can and how I can see fit, right? And so that's all he's asking you to do too. He ain't asking you to get out there and Bible thump and It ain't got to be that difficult. It don't. Talk. All you got to do is talk. Talking helps. And if you ain't got no one else, he's listening, right? He is listening. He's listening. Draw in, lean in, get near, you know. If you need to say something in the comments because you're going through something, I'm going to respond back, you know. I don't know. I hope you got something from this. I didn't mean for the video to be 55 minutes long. But again, if you stayed this entire time, thank you. Thank you, God, for giving me the words to say, because again, I was deathly afraid, and every video going forward, I'm going to start out deathly afraid, and by the end probably not be afraid, but that's just me. And so, yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking some tidbits and some nuggets, you know, and again, I'm praying for y'all. I pray that y'all praying for somebody. I pray that you pouring in and leaning in, and I pray that somebody is pouring in and leaning into you too. And if you need a safe space or you need somebody to hold space, if you ain't got nobody, baby, you got me. I'm a space holder. So I hope your day is a wonderful one. No matter when you catch this video, you caught it because the Lord needed you to see it in that moment, right? And yeah, in this year of revealing, God is revealing. In this year of truths in 2024, people is being shown their truths and truths that they wasn't even ready for. I'm telling you, things I ain't even asking for, people is coming back and apologizing for. And I'm like, dang, I didn't even know, but thank you. And, you know, I'm learning not to get upset. And I'm realizing it's hard for people to be honest with people, right? So I can't get upset with you when you can only give me you can only give me where you're at, right? And so I'm learning to meet people where they at. I ain't requiring too much, and I pray that ain't nobody requiring too much of me, because I ain't got it to give at this point in my life, right? And so I'm focused on me. I'm focused on being the best human I can be. I'm focused on doing what God is asking me to do. And I'm focusing on just being a kind human being outside, because too many of us are not. And with that being said, I'm going to end this officially. And I hope your day, night, weekend, weekday, whenever you watch this video, is an amazing one. Thank you for being here when you didn't have to be. Have a good day.